find yourself really, really wanting to like something because it's obvious that someone has put in a lot of love and attention to the project, but the project is just not at the point where it could be sold professionally and where it should be sold professionally as something that competes with everything else that's on the market, because that's how I feel about Rare Rabbit's Snuggle Haven. Let me try and explain this statement a little bit. There's one thing that Rare Rabbit's Snuggle Haven does well, and it is genetics. When in my recording I click through my rabbits, you can see that there's like a little letter code at the bottom. You also have a huge book that tells you what coat patterns signify which letters, what colors signify which letters. You kinda establish which rabbit carries what kind of genome, and then you breed said rabbits in order to achieve the kind of genome that you need. That in itself is a very interesting idea. It is a very well executed idea, but when Rare Rabbit Snuggle Haven as a game is concerned, that's like the game. Scenarios make you breed a specific type of rabbit. So the same sort of thing that you see on my screen right now, like task, breed 3 Charlie rabbits type 1. Any color pattern should be Charlie 1. So when you finish that in the scenario just ends. In the endless mode, which is what my recording is off in here, when you achieve said breeding parameters, you get the correct rabbits with either the correct pattern or coloration, you give them, the game gives you money in return, and you generate a new random assignment. And that's the biggest downfall of the game. The one thing that the game does good is genetics. And that's about it. It's a rabbit breeding simulator. If you notice, there was a bit of a different footage when I started this recording. That's because the game also has 2 mini-games. One is an endless runner, which you just saw. The other one is a rhythm game. Both play weird because they're controlled by your mouse, not really the keyboard, and both are optional. They're accessed through the play button on any rabbit. They don't really do much outside of just being there. And that's the gameplay loop. You can get a new land with the arrow key that's on my screen right now that I'm sitting right next to. All that gives you is more land for this exact same gameplay loop. I got sent the key for this game, by the way. If I wasn't, this game would be over £10. And you can see that the people that made this game really do care about it. Like, they care about genetics and about rabbits and about rabbit breeding. Because that mechanic is, once again, like, really in-depth. But they have failed at making a sufficient game. I have so many suggestions for what this game how this game could be better. My first suggestion would be to add a story mode to this game, where something happens outside of just rabbit breeding. Second suggestion would be a level progression sort of movement where you unlock more things to your farm as you pass levels. I can think of more things. What about having ultra rare rabbits that grant achievements when you manage to breed them? What about being able to specialize at one type of rabbit? What about being able to choose what kind of assignment you're doing next so that you don't need to just purge your whole rabbit farm because we went from wanting black Charlie 1 rabbits to wanting albino rabbits to wanting Japanese otter rabbits. The game is very fickle with those kind of assignments. What if your money meant something? What if you had a limited amount of time to earn a specific amount of money? Anything that would make this game feel like an actual game. Anything that would make me seek some sort of completion. Anything that would give this a finite end or something to achieve. Something outside of just staring at very cute rabbits with a very in-depth breeding simulator, for that matter. So I'm making this review a bit with a sore heart when it comes to this, because you can see that there's love in this game. And if all you want is very in-depth rabbit genetics with different rabbits producing different genomes that then express themselves as different colors and coat patterns and sizes, even jump distance. If you want that, then you can buy yourself Rare Rabbit Snuggle Haven. But I would imagine that most people don't just want that. They want more to a game than just this very, very basic gameplay loop that I'm currently showing you in full in like these 6 minutes that this video has been running. As such, I'm sad to say that I can't recommend the game, for there is not enough game in this game, but I still wanted to show it off to you, to tell you that this game as a game exists. Because boy oh boy, whoever is making this really cares about rabbit genetics, and that's quite a niche subject and very impressive, and also cozy games are kinda up my alley. So this would be my judgment of it. Rare Rabbit Snuggle Haven is a game with very in-depth rabbit breeding mechanics. Unfortunately for Rare Rabbit Snuggle Haven, rare breeding rabbit mechanics is the game. There isn't much game outside of that little part of game. There will be some amount of people for whom this would be entirely satisfactory, because these are very cute rabbits and you can breed them in different colors. But there will be a vast majority of people that will look at that and state, that's not enough game for me, and will pass it by. And that's a shame, because I imagine that when developers do send me game keys, they have a desire to show this off, to show their passion project off, and to hope that maybe more people will feel attracted to this passion project. And then I have to give a review saying that there's not enough gameplay in your game, and that it breaks my heart, because there's quite a lot of things that are right about it, mainly rabbits. There's just not enough of literally everything else. If you want to check out Rare Rabbit Snuggle Haven, I will leave a Steam link in the description down below. This video kind of showed off the whole possible gameplay that you get with this game. I think it costs like £13 at the moment. It is in early access at 0.6 mark. The thing is, 1.0 is, I would assume, about 4 updates away, because that's normally how 0 point something works, right? When you travel up in increments. And I am not entirely sure that the creator of this game will be able to pull out the rest of the game before releasing this game. So if you want to buy this, buy it off what's here. buy it if this appeals to you. Buy it if this is something that you want to support. And I'm not gonna give it a rating. I wrote a Steam review and I said that it's 6 out of 10 just so that I don't ruin developers' ratings, because there's only 10 reviews. But I did list off the problems, mainly this game lacks gameplay. So I'm not gonna give an actual rating, but I will state that there's exactly one thing that Rare Rabbit Snuggle Haven does. And that's breeding rabbits. And nothing else. And that's what's such a shame about it. Because this is a great mechanic. But one mechanic cannot be your full game. So hopefully, the creator of this game sees this video. I hope that they do. And they take this feedback, or at the very least that they see my Steam review and take this feedback, and maybe the direction of this game changes, or maybe their next game will be better than this one. You know, when you're making projects, you can really only move up as you're gonna improve over time. So that's the video. That's my review of the game. Take it or leave it, this is what it is. Thank you so much for watching. If this for any reason actually interests you, do check out the game page, do support the developer, because we love our little indies. We love people making passion projects, no matter how niche they are, and a rabbit breeding simulator is frankly quite niche. So thumbs up for that, my guy. Thumbs up for you following your passions in rabbit breeding. But for a wide berth of gaming audience. Game needs to have more game in it than this. Unfortunately. And this is where I'm gonna leave it. So thank you for watching. I hope that I'm gonna see you in my other videos. I do these kind of reviews from time to time, as I said, people sometimes send me keys, and I take some of them because sometimes the idea does look quite unique and interesting enough, like here. So yeah, expect a review here and there, like it has been happening in this channel up until this point. Hopefully I'm gonna see you on my other videos. Toodaloo for now.